I don't believe in coincidences. There are no coincidences with God, and this video popping up onto your screen with me wearing this blue shirt and my bald head out talking about what I'm about to talk about is not random, right? It's all by design. Everything from God is design. And although everything happens for a reason in life, in the same breath, we also make reasons for why things happen. And all I ask is that you watch this video through and try and make a reason in your life for why God sent you this video. So I'm going to tell you a story and what happened with me today. This morning, my phone broke. Long day, phone broke, right? That's the last thing you want, especially when you need it for work, you need it for clients. And I had plumbers coming around this morning that couldn't get a hold of me because they couldn't ring me, I couldn't ring them. Nightmare. So I went to town and I went to go and get it fixed because it needed to be done. Now, when I got to the phone shop, it was very busy. There was 8 or 9 people on staff and there was people queuing up. And eventually when I got in and I was able to see someone, the chap that came to see me was wearing a WWJD band. For those of you that don't know about this, it's an old school band. It's an old school saying from years and years and years ago, which stands for What Would Jesus Do? WWJD. And I saw it and it reminded me of primary school because we used to have these like assemblies in primary school about this and we used to get given these bands for free. And I said to this guy, yo, I like the band, bro. I like that. And straight away his eyes lit up. He went, yeah, you Christian? And we started talking. And before we know it, we hadn't even spoken about my broken phone. We'd been speaking about Jesus, our journey with Jesus, and this and that and this and that. And it was really, really interesting. Really, really cool guy. And before I know it, I was getting invited to his baptism on Sunday at a church that I've heard of, but I've never been to, which is only like 15 minutes away from where I live. And this Sunday, he said to me that there's going to be 50 people getting baptized. Everyone's welcome. There's going to be about 1,000 people. He said, do you want to come along? I said, of course I want to come along, mate. Of course I do. So that's where I'm going on Sunday. I'll let you guys know how it goes. The message of this little story before I get into the bigger message of the video is that sometimes when things don't go to plan, when things don't go to our plan, they're going exactly to God's plan, right? Because when we plan, sometimes God laughs. My plan was to have a nice day off, have the plumber come, sort a couple calls out with my clients and chill out. That didn't happen because God's plan was for me to go and get my phone fixed and meet this guy and potentially meet other people at this church. Maybe that'll open more doors. Maybe I'll realize that church isn't for me. I don't know, but I would not be having this opportunity if my phone wouldn't have broke. Blessing in disguise. Things happen for a reason, but I'm also going to make a reason for why things happen. Making this video, for example. Now, what I came to think about a lot more going through the day is that this really, really did remind me that there are truly no coincidences with God, right? There are truly no coincidences with God. And it was in that moment of me meeting that guy, of having this seriously pure and joyful and positive conversation that I remembered parts of who I am that I'd forgotten over time. Because so desperately inside, our souls are trying to remember who we are, where we came from, and where it is we're meant to be going. But what happens over time is that the world feeds us lies, opinions, validations, social media, politics, news articles, songs. All of these things, the world is continuously feeding lies. And what happens is people get into this state of completely forgetting who they are, where they came from. They forget what they're capable of, what they've been put here to do, what God's intent, what God's purpose for you is and for them is. They forget, and that is the plan of the world. The world wants them to forget. The devil wants us to forget that we are not of this world, right? And by getting to know Jesus as a Christian, you know, I've been on this journey with Jesus for a while now, and the more I get to know him and the more you get to know him, the more you will start to remember these ancient truths within us, because Jesus is the reflection of everything good in us. Jesus is the reflection of everything good in the world. And the more we get to know him, the more we get to know the best versions of ourselves, and the more we get to remember what it is we're truly here to do. And that is serve. That is become the best versions of ourselves. That is to make the most of what we've got. That is to fall down, probably every single day, but get back up, bro. Not to play the victim card, to complain, to moan about circumstances, to moan about everything, to live in hope that one day things will change, to wait for life to happen to us instead of going out and getting the things that we want and becoming the people that we're meant to become, bro. You see it in today's world, man. You see it in today's world. There's so many people just walking about. There's so many people so lost, worshipping false idols, singers, actors, Hollywood. They're worshipping all these people without even realizing they're worshipping all these people. They're in massive stadiums up on a stage, you know, in these massive concerts, worshipping these people on a stage, bro. These famous people, powerful people. People have no idea who they are because for so long, they haven't put themselves in situations where they can remember. And some people are so lost that happiness and positivity and joy, if faced with those things, it angers them. It triggers something in them because they've forgotten what it even feels like to have faith, to have true faith. They've forgotten what it even feels like to be positive and have real joy. And it's sad. It's genuinely a sad thing to see how many young people now are so lost, how they have to seek for validation in order to be happy. They have to live in short-term pleasures and passions and temptations in order to feel anything. And they, rather than building the reality that they want, they compare themselves to other people's realities and spend their life doing that. It's so important to remember who we are, bro, and what it is we're capable of, and what it is that the world and God can give us if we just try and work hard, you know? Heaven on earth is a real thing, but hell on earth is a real thing. And it's very, 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 very easy to find yourself in hell on earth. And so many people are putting themselves into that without even clocking what they're doing. And it's because they're forgetting who they are, what they're capable of, where they came from. And it's because they're not getting to know Jesus Christ, bro, and what Jesus stands for. And the funny thing is about all of this, right? The funny thing is about Jesus is that there's Muslims, atheists, Buddhists, and people of all different walks of life who are more Christian by deeds than some so-called Christians are by words. And let me tell you something factual, mate. Being a true Christian is not about what you say. It's not just about what you say, it's about what you do. It's about how you step. Are you stepping correct with Jesus? Are you stepping correct and trying to embody what he taught? Or are you doing the complete opposite? Are you coming from a place of selfishness all the time? Are you coming from a place of hate, greed, lust? Where are you coming from? What is the motivation behind what it is you're doing? Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Jesus is the divine pathway, bro. He is the doorway to finding heaven on earth. And so if you are lost in life, if you are finding it difficult to remember who you are, what it is you're capable of, what it is you have been put here to do, seek Jesus. Read the word, read the Bible, go to church, meet people, be positive, bro. And stop waiting for life to happen to you, sat in your room, playing the victim card, complaining, doing all this, doing all that. It doesn't matter where you are, who you are, where you're from, your circumstances, none of that, right? Seek Jesus, bro. Standard. And so no, I don't believe in coincidences, and there are no coincidences with God. And I really, really hope that some of you have taken something from this video. And if you have, I'd really appreciate a comment down below. And if you're not already subscribed, you know what to do. Today is day 229 of me making a YouTube video every single day for 365 days and seeing where God takes me, seeing where I end up. And today, my phone broke, met a really cool guy, been invited to a baptism on Sunday. That's where I'm going to be on Sunday. And it just keeps on unfolding, doesn't it? It just keeps on unfolding, bro. Life is wicked. God is good. Jesus is alive. God bless. See you guys tomorrow for another one. Wow.